What do you wanna be? Wanna be me? Well, come and see. Wanna be, man, I can't stand me, wanna be us, wanna be us, wanna be us.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, before you mention anything, I know I've been absent on the channel for a few months, but we're here to change that today. I'm here to bring you a tutorial on how you can do your very own thumbnail, just similar to your favorite content creators, whether it be Torva, Dante Santana, Booyah, Swag, K3, among many others that you may watch on a day-to-day basis. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can make your very own rainbow diamond camo. So in the video today, I'm going to be showing you how to do this rainbow diamond camo, right? This method that I'm going to be showing you, the step-by-step process, can also be applied to Dark Aether or DM Ultra. I really prefer Dark Aether over DM Ultra when it comes to changing colors, due to the fact that DM Ultra is a bit more reflective, it's a bit harder to work with, it's a little too bright in my opinion. It seems like it reminds me a lot of Haptic Camo from BO3. I'm not sure if you played Black Ops 3, but Haptic Camo was a really nice and beautiful camo. But in this case scenario, it feels like it's a little too much. And it's way too reflective for my liking, so that's why I prefer to use Dark Aether. It makes body part, weapon parts of the weapon black, like black, like it's a really nice contrast. The purple isn't too strong, you can change the color of that, and it just looks beautiful. So to start this video off, you want your very own screenshot of a diamond camo. It can be in any position, any angle, anything crazy. It's all up to you. It's all your personal preference. But I'm gonna be using this screenshot right here. It's nothing crazy, diamond isn't covering the whole weapon. You can use another, screenshot where diamond is covering the whole weapon. For example, let me pull up something real quick. Drag this over here. For example, let's put this AK-74U. This diamond covers more of the weapon than compared to this Crig 6, right? But in this case scenario, since the Crig covers the weapon, the canvas, aka the thumbnail, a bit more, I'm gonna be going with this instead of this. So I don't know what I'm gonna do specifically yet. I'm gonna think about it through the video while I'm recording. So what you want to do is create a new document. In this case scenario, my screenshot is 1920 by 1080, so we're gonna do that. It's already created, right? So I copied my image, Control V, I pasted it into Photoshop. So as you can see right here, I just pasted it in as well. So I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be showing you how to cut it out and how to make the diamond after you cut out the weapon. So let me pen tool this out and I'll be right back with you. Alright, I'm almost done cutting out my weapon, but before I do that, I'm going to give you a basic rundown on how to use the pen tool, because the pen tool here is going to be one of the most important assets of our, creating our diamond. So let me pull my pen tool out again. So you're going to add an anchor point, your starting point, choose your starting point, which in this case scenario for me is going to be this corner right here on the site. I'm going to click and hold, because I don't want this line to be straight. I want it to curve like this. So what I'm holding, I'm gonna drag down, and what that's gonna do is gonna bring these two little lines out, and you're gonna move these, edit these, curve these as much as you want, depending on what you're working on. So to do this, hold Alt on your keyboard and left click, hold the left click, and you can drag. You gotta be holding both at the same time though. And or for these little anchor points, if you messed it up, hold Control and left click, hold the left click too, and you can drag these all over the place wherever you want. So in this case scenario, I'm gonna choose this right here, finish up this, curve it, and here you go. Basically, oh wait, I'm missing the iron sight. But the pen tool is a very important process for this, rainbow diamonds thumbnail, since we're gonna be cutting out a bit of the weapon. So now that we got this done, we got our cutout done. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna go to my paths. As you can see, we have a work path here. I'm gonna hold Control and click on the little thumbnail right here that's on our work path. And now I'm gonna make sure that I'm clicked on to our layer 1. So after you see you're clicked on your layer 1 and you see these little selection lines, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Control and J, and what that's gonna do is gonna duplicate this layer. So before anything else, it's duplicated. We're gonna have like a small pieces of background on the weapon, and we want to remove those before adding our diamond, so our cutout looks the cleanest. Like right here, you can see some background of the weapon, some background of Raid, the little trees, the background environment, whatever the case may be. Right here on the grip, on his glove, you can see that there's a bit of background in there. So to fix this, we're gonna make sure we click on the layer, our weapon layer. We're gonna hold Control, basically do the same, Control, and then click on the small little thumbnail for the layer. This time it's not going to be with work path. If you want to, you can delete the work path. It's not necessary to keep. Now that we have it selected like this again, we want to go to the top of Photoshop and click the select tab right here, right beside filter. Click it, go down to modify, contract, and then the basic contract is going to be 1. Always keep it like that because it's going to remove or contract 1 pixel in general off the whole weapon. So if you need to do more, like 2 pixels, type 2 in there. I just noticed I missed something right here, but I don't really care, it's whatever. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do Control and J, and what that's gonna do is gonna create a new layer without that pixel that was selected. As you can see, it's a very noticeable at the end of the day, for like people like me, people who do thumbnails. You can notice it a lot. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna delete, and now to get to the juicy part, rainbow diamond camo. All right, so let's get into the diamond camo part. So rainbow diamond, what you want to do here in this case scenario is create a new layer above your your weapon. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make that layer white. We're gonna turn it off for now because we need to see what we're cutting out. Of course, we're not gonna put it into the weapon quite just yet. So this is where I said that the pen tool is the thing you need the most when it comes to this, because you need to be as precise as possible when doing this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom into the weapon to where the diamond is covering the whole area. I just want the diamond in this case scenario. So I'm gonna choose a starting point, which is possibly gonna be here for me, and we're gonna be dragging this all along to where the diamond is, and we're basically gonna cover the diamond with this selection of our pen tool. So we're gonna be working on that little by little. Try to make it as clean as possible. Show no huge details. Follow the edges. Like for this case scenario, like right here, now that we got the railing, you can go through here. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really have to be precise until you get to here, which is like little welding or something. I don't know what it is. And then I'm gonna be more precise here. Keep going until I get to this little welding again. Keep going. Make sure to be the most precise and clean as possible, because we want the camo looking the best. So we're gonna be doing this right here. Try to make it look the best. Is that part of the? Oh, I see. Everybody says, is that part of the weapon? But no, it isn't. So this is why I said the pen tool plays a very important part, and it's very crucial for you to learn how to use this. If you don't know how to use it, I do recommend, please consider taking your time to practice the pen tool, since it's really the best tool you can use in Photoshop, in my opinion, for any graphic design or anything in general. You can cut out people, you can cut out weapons, cut out icons, anything other than just weapons itself from Call of Duty. So I really recommend you learn the pencil. It is the best tool by far to use while while you're doing thumbnails. So we're gonna do this right here. We're almost done. I'm gonna make sure it's as clean as possible. I'm gonna be showing you another like render with AK-74U, like the one I showed you before, but with diamond. Since this doesn't have that much diamond in the thumbnail or in the weapon, I'm gonna be showing another example of what you can do. All right, so we got this right here. We can adjust this, and now that we got this right here, we selected all our good stuff. We're gonna turn the layer back on, and now what we're gonna do is gonna go into paths, hold control, click on the small thumbnail like what you did with the weapon, but instead of duplicating this, we're gonna add a layer mask. And what that's gonna do is gonna cover the area where we cover the diamond basically. I'm gonna delete the work path because I don't need it. I just deleted my layer mask. I'm gonna delete the work path because I don't need that. I'm gonna apply the layer mask, and I'm gonna make this into a clipping mask. So you basically do that by, hold on, right click, create clipping mask, or alt on your keyboard, and in between the layers you can see this little arrow sign, and what that does is makes it a clipping mask by itself too. So we're gonna double click on our layer. This is gonna be our rainbow layer. We're gonna add a gradient overlay. So this is we're gonna reset to default because we're starting fresh. So right here, what I want to do is 0-degree angle, scale 100, and now we're gonna start adding our colors. So first, I'm gonna add what would it be? Let's make like a pinkish right here. I don't know, pink. Let's go with that. Make that 0%. 20%. We add like a blue, a light blue, nothing too crazy. 50%. We add like a sky blue, like a very light blue. 75%. We add a green. And then at 100%, we can add like a red, and it's or a yellow or orange. All up to you, personal preference. Or you can make these a bit smaller. Adjust them to size. Make them 20 each or something. 20, or not that. I don't need that right there. Make this 40. Make this 60. Make this 80, and then keep a red one like at 100, basically. So something around these lines right here. So I'm gonna lower these since I like how these look a bit more. I can take this off too and make it fade in. So I'm gonna bring this somewhere around here. Play around with the colors on how you want it to be. So this is basically perfect for me. I'm gonna press OK. Right here I'm not gonna do anything because I'm gonna be rasterizing the layer, which is gonna make it look normal without adding like the effects tab. So I'm gonna press OK. I'm gonna right click on this, and we're gonna do rasterize layer style. And what that's gonna do is gonna make a new layer of its own. It's not gonna have any effects that you can double click on. For the blend mode, as you can see right here, it's on normal. I'm gonna bring that down to overlay. So as you can see, you got your rainbow diamond camo. You can click on the layer again, play around with it, go into dissolve, darken, multiply, color burn, linear burn, color burn, lighten, screen, color dodge, linear dodge add, lighter color, overlay, which is the one I prefer in this case scenario, soft light, which is a really good one too. It's really solid. It's less saturated, it seems like. It blends in a bit more, so I might use that actually. I'm gonna use soft light. There's hard light, vivid color, linear light, pen light, hard mix, difference. You can play around with this. I'm gonna be showing you the one I use. You can also use color, because color is the one I use mainly for dark aether. But in this case scenario, I don't want it to look like that, so I want soft light, so it looks a bit more natural when you're using this rainbow diamond camo. So now we can delete this background. We're gonna keep the original background we had because we're gonna add that as our main background. What we want to do in this case scenario is click on the weapon, hold shift, and click on the rainbow layer that we have. See if we can turn it on and off. Right click and make this into a smart object. So what this is gonna do, It's gonna make it a smart object. We can add filters, any small little things, effects, without having to add them to this rainbow diamond layer too. So we can go back in, edit, whatever the case may be, whatever you may need to do. So that is mainly it. And now onto the rest of the process. I can't talk. So now what we're gonna do, now that we have our rainbow diamond camo, is we're gonna create a new document, or a new thumbnail, whatever document, whatever the case may be. But before we do that, I'm gonna title this weapon, and we're gonna title our background. I can't type, please excuse me, I'm slow at typing. We're gonna make this into a smart object too, because we want to add filters to it. Whether it be, oh, it changed the name, so add that after making it into a smart object. We're gonna add filters to it, like blurs. So now what we're going to do is Control N on your keyboard, and we're going to do a 1280 by 720 at 300 resolution. This is what I use personally. You can go to 1080, 1920 by 1080 at 300 resolution. But I do this since, mainly some assets can come at a lower resolution. The quality is downscaled by YouTube at after you upload them to YouTube. So this is the quality they come out as. So we're going to title this as thumbnail template. I'm going to be rainbow. Rainbow diamond thumbnail template. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift and select this both layers. I'm going to duplicate these over to my main canvas. I'm going to put it to a certain size. I don't want it too big or too small. I don't want it to be like the same size as it was already. I don't want it to be so humongous you don't see part of the weapon barrel, or like the suppressor or the iron sights. So you can do it like right here before the suppressor goes out of the canvas. So we can delete this background right here, we don't need it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a filter to our background. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add blur. I use Gaussian blur most of the time at a 1.0 radius, but in this case scenario I wanted to try out something a bit different, and we're gonna go with motion blur. So go into the blur tab on filters, and then go down. It's below lens blur, it's motion blur. So what I'm gonna do here is angle 0. It starts off at 90. We don't want that. We want 0, and then distance 3 or 4. It's all up to you, personal preference. But in my case scenario, I'm gonna be doing 3. Now we can hide this little tab for the smart filters. I'm gonna add a new layer and make sure it is black, that it covers our whole background. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the fill down to like a 5-7%, and what that's gonna do is gonna make our background a little less lighter. It's not gonna be as bright as this, so we're just gonna title this layer fill. We're gonna add a new something a little to the background, a bit more contrast. Go down here to where's the layer mask is, effects. It's this little circle right here, as you can see. We're gonna choose brightness / contrast. We're gonna add that. Now what we're gonna do is add a bit more contrast to our thumbnail. As you can see, it makes like a drastic change even without color corrections. The word slipped out of my mind, but without color corrections, imagine this with color corrections, it's gonna look amazing. So we're gonna raise the contrast to like 30ish, and then we're gonna lower our brightness to like -11, -10, somewhere around there. -8 is gonna be the sweet spot for me. So now what I wanted to do is I'm gonna add effects or layer styles to our weapon. So now that we got all that, we're gonna choose color overlay. The blend mode is gonna go to overlay. Make the opacity nothing too crazy, maybe like a 10 max for this case scenario, since the weapon is already bright as is. We're gonna add a drop shadow. This might not be the case scenario for you. This is the drop shadow I use for text. So you want the blend mode on normal, opacity like at 50%, distance at 6 to 8%, size 8% too. It's it's really up to personal preference. You can play around with this however you want it, and that looks good to me. And now what we're gonna do is add more filters to this. So we're gonna sharpen this weapon up a bit. We're gonna go to filter, sharpen, and we're gonna go to smart sharpen. And what this is gonna do, this is gonna sharpen our weapon a lot. It makes it look more cleaner. like way more cleaner. As you can see by the preview, you can see the weapon just clears up more than, you know, it just makes it so much different in my case. So I mean, I said my case, in my opinion, it just makes it so much different. You know, you can play around with, you know, how much no, that's the color overlay, excuse me, how much, you know, smart sharpen you want. I do 100%, you can do 200. 200 looks good as well. Radius 1.5, you know, you can play around with it. 100, I'm gonna leave it at 100. 1.5 radius, reduce noise by 10%. Okay, we're gonna go in here. We can go back into smart sharpen and unsharp mask. What this is gonna do is gonna make it a bit more, you know, it makes it look a bit more sharpened as well. As you can see, if you raise it or lower it, it makes it look more sharpened. This is way too much, you know, but I'll use 60 in this case scenario with 1 radius and 0% threshold. If you want to do anything apart from this, like reduce noise, you know, something's bothering you, you feel like that, you can go into noise, filter, then noise, then reduce noise. You know, you can play around here, preserve details, whatever the case may be, or you can go into camera raw filter, which is Control Shift A, or filter, the filter tab, and it's probably going to be your first option. So let me close here, cancel. No, it's not going to be your first option. Camera raw filter, which is right here, Control Shift A, either way. We're going to go into here. We can sharpen it up a bit here too. Nothing too crazy. I'm not going to do much since, you know, we already did this. We can reduce noise through here. The detail, you know, so we're gonna do like a 36 noise reduction, or, you know, you can lower the color noise, but I'm not gonna do this in this case scenario. I'm just gonna do the filter, noise, reduce noise, you know, play around with it. This is what I usually use. 4 strength, preserve details 20, reduce color noise 12, and sharpen details 30. This is what I do most of the time, so we can get this done. This is how a weapon looks like. This is what it would look like without smart filters. As you can see, it's a very drastic difference. It adds so much more detail to our weapon compared to, you know, what it comes out from in-game. So we're gonna leave it at that. Before we do anything else, I'm gonna add a new layer. We're gonna do a background brush. We're gonna add like a little glow behind the weapon so it looks a bit more, you know, flashier. It catches the eye a bit more. So we're gonna bring out a brush. 0% hardness, as always. We want 0% hardness when adding brushes because it looks the best. We're gonna bring it up to like an orangish. Yeah, orange is good right here. We can leave it at normal, linear dodge add, but in this case scenario, I'm gonna leave it at normal for now. Oh wait, that's not the eraser. We're gonna leave it at normal for now. You know, add like a certain amount. So that's pretty good. What I'm gonna do right now is go ahead and grab my color corrections, my spikes, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so now that I have my spikes and color corrections in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with the background brush. I'm probably going to make it a linear dodge add so, you know, it looks a bit better. Play around with it, possibly make it a bit bigger. I'd say that looks nice, that looks good to me. So right here, what we want to do is add brushes for our weapon so it can seem like it's highlighted as such. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the brightness a bit on the background and add a bit more contrast just so it looks a bit more darker, and, you know, the weapon stands out more compared to, you know, the sky in the background and the background in general, right? So now what I want to do is I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to title this overlay brush. We're going to tell this overlay brush, make our blend mode into overlay. Drop this down to 74% opacity, and oh, I don't know what happened there. 74% opacity and 75% fill. We're gonna add another one, which is gonna be linear dodge add this time, which is, we're gonna call this brush. Oh, I call it touch brush. We're gonna make this 67% opacity, and we're gonna make it 75% fill. And we're gonna add a last one for this. So this is gonna be another overlay brush. Overlay. We're gonna do 53% opacity and 68% fill. So this is more less opacity and fill than the original one. We're gonna tell this overlay brush 2. Overlay brush 2. Okay. Now that we got that done, What I want to do is add a bit more contrast to our weapon and make it look a bit more darker. So I'm gonna click on weapon. I'm gonna add an adjustment down here of brightness and contrast. And what I'm gonna do here is create a clipping mask. So I'm gonna right click, create clipping mask, and add a bit more contrast to it. So it's a bit more darker, and lower the brightness a tad bit, nothing too crazy. So a bit of contrast. As you can see, it seems like a major difference. It is a major difference, actually. It doesn't seem like a major difference. It is a major difference. So I'm going to leave it at 38, -7 brightness, because we're going to be adding highlights with our brushes. I'm going to adjust this background brush a bit, so give me a sec, because if something's off for me. Alright, we're going to do that. So that's perfect for me for our background brush. I'm probably going to add a stat bar in the background from our previous tutorial on how to do a stat bar. I'm gonna leave an updated stat bar, but you know how to do your own on one of my previous thumbnails tutorials. I don't know how to talk, please excuse me. So now what we want to do is when you bring out a brush, bring on your keyboard or right here, as you can see, brush tool. What I want to do is make my brush smaller, 0% hardness. To achieve this, you right click and it's gonna bring up this this little scale. You can adjust, choose your brushes, whatever the case may be. Or you can hold Alt, drag, hold the right click, drag left and right, and what that's going to do is going to make bigger and smaller. Up and down is going to raise hardness. So you want to drag all the way up, make sure it's 0% hardness, and then make it a fairly good size, right? So in this case scenario, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust our flow to make that to like 92, and our opacity for our brush is going to be 87. So I don't want it to be too bright to where it's really uncomfortable to see. So I'm gonna make this white. Our overlay brushes are always white to add like a bit more highlights, if we could say that, right? So I'm just gonna add them every here and there. Now for our brush, this is the important one. So since our weapon has like gold accents with the rainbow diamond, this is what's gonna go over these golden and rainbow diamond accents. So I'm gonna choose this, make it like a kind of yellowish, nothing too crazy. And I'm gonna add it where the gold is, not in the barrel, since you can barely see the barrel. You can probably raise the opacity on the drop shadow, so you can do that if you want to, so you can see the barrel as is. Lower the distance a bit. Now we can go back to our brush and add it right quick. Add something right there, and now is the good part. We get to the rainbow diamond. Let me add one right here, right there. That's pretty much good. Okay, rainbow diamond. We're basically gonna choose the same colors that we chose for our rainbow diamond. Just gonna hover over it, choose like the light blue that we chose. Make sure it's kind of close in the middle between the color and white, so it looks a bit more highlighted. Go down to green, do the same. Go down to yellow, do the same, and go down to red and do the same. So pretty much that's how you add highlights to your rainbow diamond. And now we're gonna go to our overlay brush and make this color white as well. We're gonna add this over our brush, our original brush, this one right here that we added color to, so it makes it pop out more. So that's what we're gonna do in this case scenario. Let me grab a PSD or my stat bar that I usually use and slap it onto here. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I imported my stat bar, I will be leaving this PSD down in the description below in a Google Drive folder. But now that I left it here, we're gonna do something a bit crazy. So we're gonna double click on the stat bar. We're gonna do some little edits on this. I'm gonna Google rainbow color background, rainbow mixed color background. I want to see like something like nice, that's a little mixed with the rainbow, because I want to add this to our background, like the stat bar in general. So I want it to look really nice, like this one right here, colors background. I'm probably gonna use this because I like how this looks a lot, or something like right here. I like how this looks too, but I'm gonna use this one right here since it has a lot of the colors. I'm gonna copy image and I'm gonna paste it in here. Oh, that's big. Make sure it's just like the size to where the stat bar is. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a clipping mask for that, and then Control and J, complete do the process all over again. Duplicate our layers. Make sure it's it fits between the stat bars. Adjust this to where it's almost at the bottom, and then do the same again, and make it a clipping mask. Well, hold on, I'm trying to move this. right there. That looks good to me. I'm gonna control and save, and I like how that looks. It's all over the place. It's a little gradienty. You can play around with it. It's all up to you. Personal preference, in my opinion. We can add a glow. Doesn't need effects real quick. Hold on. So to add this glow, make a new layer. Just title it glow again, I guess. We're gonna keep it at normal, lower the opacity to like 40, 50, and that's pretty much it. So this one's 46. That's what I use. 46 glow. I'm gonna delete that real quick. 46 glow B. Gonna copy this color right here by holding Alt with brush out, and that's gonna do is gonna bring this eyedropper tool. We're gonna make this a little bit brighter. Gonna add that right there. Yellow. Gonna add that right there. For blue, add the blue right there. Purple, add the purple right there. And then for green, we're gonna add like a light green right there. And then control save, and let's see how that looks. That looks clean. I like how the fuck that looks. I like how this looks. This looks really, really good. So let me get a tag real quick. I might add like a skull right here with kills or whatever the case may be, and I'll be right back because this looks really good. Okay, so now that I added my tag, I'm gonna leave this here. You can edit this. I'm gonna create a duplicate for this just in case you want to use this. So I'm just gonna be normal tag and hide this under the background. And now for this, I'm gonna create this tag into a smart object real quick. Convert to smart object. I'm gonna double click on this right here, and I'm gonna invert the text to where it says OP. I'm gonna invert that because I'm gonna flip the tag. I'm gonna save that, yes. Control T, flip horizontal, and what that does, it makes it look a bit different. So I'm gonna put this under the stat over the stat bar under the weapon. Basically, I'm gonna adjust the tag a bit just so it doesn't look that weird. I'm gonna adjust it real quick. Center the text a bit more. That looks pretty good to me. It's solid right there. I can move the text a bit more to the left in this case scenario, or to the right as normal would be. That looks pretty solid to me. I'm gonna leave it right there. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna do Control T, right click on it, and do perspective. So what this is gonna do is gonna give it like a small angle that you can control however you feel like. So I'm gonna touch the what is this, bottom right corner, left click and hold, and you can drag down, and what that's gonna do, it's gonna give it like a small angle, and then drag left or right to go up and down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right. So probably gonna leave it like right there, give it like a small angle, make this look a bit more different. You can adjust, play with it however much you want, but I'm just gonna give it a small angle, nothing too crazy, nothing that's gonna be weird. So something like that, probably. Put that under the weapon, make it a bit smaller just so you can see it. Tilt it a bit, and then boom, there we go. Oh wait, I didn't want to, nope, I didn't want to make it 0 opacity. So it's basically something like that. I'm gonna change the text a bit more to the left in this case scenario for the tag, because I see like a lot of empty space right there. Or I can also adjust this red tag right here that I got, make it a bit smoother. It's a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. A bit cleaner is what I'm gonna do. So let me just do that real quick. Control Shift I, delete, and then bop, save that, and that just looks cleaner, and we're gonna go. Should I add kills? Should I add kills? I don't think I should add kills, or should I? This is a very this is a very complicated thing to do, because I don't know if I want to add kills or if I don't want to add kills. So should I think I am. So in this case scenario, I'm gonna get a skull from, oh, not that, I'm trying to import this into Photoshop. Hold on, I thought I had my Photoshop open, but no. I'm gonna go into my thumbnail assets, get a skull real quick. I'm gonna show you how to make a skull icon. I'm gonna create a new layer, make it 1,000 times 1,000 or something. Oh, I forgot the one. 300 resolution. I'm just gonna tell this skull just for video purposes. Gonna add a new layer, delete this. Go into here, elliptical marquee tool, hold shift drag down, and what that's gonna do is gonna make a perfect circle. So I'm gonna do 885 if I can even do it, or 880. Control backspace or alt backspace adds color. So I'm gonna do this right here, make it black. Get this skull from here, drag it down into here. That's pretty much good. Double click on it, add a color overlay, make it normal, make sure it's white, and that's pretty much how you add a skull. Make this merge them together or make it into a smart object, which is pretty much what I do most of the time. Drag this over here, make it smaller, nothing too crazy, nothing too big, you know. Leave it like that. Add a small drop shadow. I don't like to add much drop shadow to this. You can add a stroke, like a white stroke, make it color white. Nothing too crazy, like a 2. Add a bit more distance to this drop shadow. Now we can do text. I'm gonna put this over. I'm gonna title this skull. Go to text. What I'm gonna use for this is Gotham Medium. Add a new layer. Question mark, or actually, should I do Gotham or should I do another thing? Oh no. I do what's it called? Arial bold is what I do. So make this Arial bold. Is it Arial bold already? I don't even notice. Arial bold. Screw it. We're doing Arial bold. Question mark. Make it a bit bigger. Make this white. Double click on it. Add effects to it. Add a stroke. Make sure you add a black stroke. I usually add like a 4 to 5 stroke, and then make the spread 100. Size lower that. Opacity 100%. Spread a little less distance, a little less size. 3 size is good. I might change this color, make it like a little grayish, so it doesn't blend in like with the black as much. So that's pretty much what I use. Why doesn't it feel like Arial bold? Should I use black? Yeah, Arial black is what I'm gonna use. Screw that. Bold doesn't look, you know, I don't know what's wrong with bold. It just doesn't, you know, give me the vibe I want to. So now what I'm gonna do is Control G, kills skull icon, or kills actually. Make this a bit bigger. You know, just question mark. Put this around here. What you can also do is I'm gonna put the skull behind the stat bar, so it doesn't do that, and then I'm gonna remove the stroke because I just want the thing right there. I'm gonna move this a little to the side, and that's pretty much it. There you have it. It's gonna be your tutorial for how to do a rainbow diamond. This is your very own custom rainbow diamond. But before we get into, you know, the outro part, what we want to do is click on the color correction or whatever top layer you have, shift, and then click on the very bottom layer, Control G, and what that's gonna do is gonna group it. So I'm just gonna do thumbnail. And now what you want to do is Alt, drag it up, or Control and J, and what that's gonna do is gonna duplicate that, Control J, and then what we're gonna do is Control E. So what that's gonna do is gonna merge everything together into one single file. As you can see, nothing, I don't move like the kills by itself or nothing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the marquee tool. I'm gonna select rectangular marquee. I'm gonna select our canvas, Control and J, delete the thumbnail copy, and right now, as you can see, nothing, no excess like before. We're gonna title this thumbnail again. Not necessary, but you can do it. Go into filter, camera raw filter, or Control Shift A on your keyboard as a shortcut. Now that this pops up, I have like a small template right here for like thumbnails. So I'm gonna choose that template, and I'm gonna show you what I use. 0.05 exposure, plus 17 contrast, plus 7 highlights, minus 7 shadows, plus 4 in whites, minus 7 in blacks, plus 10 in texture, plus 11 in clarity, plus 8 in vibrance and saturation, detail, plus 24 on the normal sharpening, radius 0.9, detail 17, and then for noise reduction is 18, detail is 20, and color noise reduction is 15. These are basically the settings I use to make the thumbnail, you know, look a bit more, pop out a bit more, as you know, thumbnail designers hate, and designers in general. And as you can see, it makes a, you know, a huge difference, which I fucking love. I really like how this thumbnail turned out. this template in general. And now to save this is Control Alt Shift and S, or you can go to File, Export, and Save for Web. So what this does, it's gonna make it into a smaller it's gonna compress everything into a smaller sized file while it still keeps all the quality. What I use is the preset PNG24, of course. Everything else is just, pretty good. Transparency, I just checked that because why not? Save, and I'm just gonna throw this in here, rainbow diamond thumbnail template, and now I'm gonna save my PSD, and that was pretty much the video, guys. If you did find this video, hold on. If you did find this video helpful, and if you did enjoy the content that I brought to you today, please do drop a like and a sub. Please do consider doing that. I also do this live on Twitch, as I mentioned before during the intro of the video. So if you do want to watch the magic happen live, and any tips and tricks you want me to review the thumbnails, or any given case or any case scenario that you want me to check, I'll check it out during stream if I can and if I have the time to, and I will gladly review anything you can improve upon anything that you may need help with. All right, so I appreciate you if you made it to the end of the video. That is going to be it for today's video. I'm going to be bringing you another video soon on how to make something a little similar to this. Hold on, let me see where I have it. Where's Booyah's folder? Right here. I'm gonna be sharing you a video on how to make something like this, like a fake tweet thumbnail with the gunsmith angle. So this one is gonna be a banger, so do be on the watch out for that one. But with that being said, I appreciate if you do made it to the end of the video. I hope you have a good day, night, whatever time you're watching. Please stay good, stay safe. It is hard times out here, and I love y'all. So I kind of forgot about adding examples for Dark Matter and Dark Aether and the AK-70 for you with what's it called? Diamond, another like rainbow diamond variant. So we're just gonna play it off. Nobody saw nothing, but here in the background, as you can see, this is my Twitch channel. This is where I stream every day, or at least try to stream every day when it comes to thumbnails. As you can see right now, I don't have any VODs that you can see, but that is because of DMCA. I play copyrighted music on my streams, so there's that. I do appreciate if you made it to this part of the video. Please drop a like, leave a comment, and I'm out. Peace.